All right.
All right. How's it
How you
going?
doing? Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm just changing my, I've got a subheader now on my thing.
Better golfer. Okay.
Than you. I mean, I
Fair.
haven't, yeah,
Then what?
than you.
Yeah. What else would it going to be then?
Well, I don't know, just like, I don't
Better
know.
than you were before.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about, I don't know if these come up. So we're on Riverside, we have these little name tags and then a little subheader that you can put in as well. And James, underneath his name, has put better golfer. And also now changed it to not a wanker.
That's a throwback to the last episode we recorded.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I did there? Because I called
Yeah.
you a wanker right at the end.
Okay. Wow. This is like Thanos Avengers style storytelling.
Yeah, it's
tie-in shit here.
I'm trying to build lore into
Yeah.
the podcast.
Send better emails, law.
Because we do have a bit of lore by accident.
Do we?
Yeah, just like, you know, the hot takes.
Pork chop.
Pork chop, that's lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there other law? Oh, vagina candles.
Yeah, did that make it into the canon? I don't know.
Oh, okay, I did in mine.
Did it? Well, I bet it did
Yeah.
in yours. Yeah. I don't want to know about your canon, Jamie.
No.
You should keep your canon to yourself.
James. We're trying to be more highbrow on these.
Are we?
Yeah, we're trying to attract nicer, bigger clients.
I don't know. I think
We're trying to be more professional.
I think all the big clients we have love our banter.
True.
So
And our lovable nature.
yeah.
Someone told us this week that she thought when she first met us that we might have been lovers, and that was our connection.
Yes. Which I loved, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't love it as much, but you know, I think she thought it was brave that we had decided to have a romantic relationship and also start a business together.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It was brave of us.
It was brave. Yeah, it was brave. We aren't lovers, at least primarily
All right.
not lovers. It's not the first thing we are.
I think you're a bit strenuous about this.
Okay, so okay. I'm just I'm denying it too
you're-
hard.
Yeah, like you're setting the record straight on a record that nobody even knew about until
Okay, fine.
20 seconds ago.
Okay, right.
I feel like yeah, give it let's someone said that they thought we might be lovers. Let's give that room to breathe.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Maybe we are.
Do you think, because people have also said that we're brothers,
Yeah.
do you think we look more like lovers or more like brothers?
I mean, we live in
Your
Norfolk,
opinion.
so we could be both.
Well, yeah, there is that.
I think we look more like brothers. We actually got that quite recently as well when we stayed in Bristol. The woman at the checking us in for breakfast said
Yeah.
she said she suggested that we were twins, which is a bit of a stretch, I think.
Yeah, we do look different enough not to be twins.
I mean,
think.
you're like 4 inches taller for starters,
Yeah.
but I get that 4 inches back somewhere else.
Yeah. I wondered which one of us was going to sing to that. Okay. I thought, what did I say about keeping this highbrow?
Yeah, sorry. Let's move on to the topic.
Well, yeah, there are too many threads that tie us. The tapestry of our relationship is too complex, convoluted to be for labels. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
It's multifaceted.
true.
Let's move on.
Yeah, it's a modern working relationship.
Yeah. So the topic at hand is it's a pretty abstract. It's a pretty abstract topic that we want to talk about today, and it's about the hidden benefit of writing a newsletter.
Yeah,
And that hidden benefit is something that benefits you, believe it or not, even if you're writing your newsletter to 0 subscribers.
yes. Just say it, Jamie.
I actually don't know what it is. I think
Oh.
you should probably say.
Oh,
probably
okay,
better
fair
at,
enough. Yeah.
calling it what it is.
Yeah, so the clickbaity version of the title of this podcast would be why you should write to 0 subscribers. And the reason is that writing a newsletter is a beneficial activity that every business owner, creator, a thought leader, anyone who has any opinions about anything ought to be writing a newsletter, purely for the sake of writing your thoughts down, or discussing your thoughts if you use a ghostwriter, for example. But, having a space to think about and articulate your thoughts on a given area, usually your area of expertise, is a huge benefit to every aspect of your life. And so we're going to be talking briefly about that today. This isn't going to be our longest episode. I think it's fair to say that. It's not going to be our longest episode, but this is a benefit that we have found, Jamie, through serving clients for the last 3 years. Is one of the things that people enjoy most about working with us is that we give them a space, a dedicated ring-fence space through which they can just think about their area of interest or expertise, or both, in a way that maybe they don't get the opportunity to do most other times. So, yeah, that's what we're discussing today.
Nice. Okay. And I think you know how we like analogies. I think what we offer our clients in that ring fence space is something akin to perhaps therapy, where you have the opportunity to discuss and talk freely about things in a protected and ring fence space, right? And so if we think about, okay, well, not everyone has the benefit of having us on board to help them do that. And so a good alternative to therapy is journaling. And this is probably what writing your newsletter is, right? I think I would go so far as to say that you should just find joy in writing newsletters. Find joy in not writing a draft that's perfect the first time, but instead is a space for you to enjoy writing and explore different topics that you're an expert in. What we want to talk about here or what we're talking about here today probably isn't suitable for those e-commerce brands, arguably. I think this is more for content creators. It's more for thought leaders.
Yeah, agreed.
Who are discussing, who are diving in deeper into subject areas.
Yeah, unless those e-commerce brands are doing something quite different with their email marketing, like they are offering thought leadership on, around the products they sell, or something like that. But generally, yeah, I agree with you. There isn't the same catharsis in like putting together an email in Klaviyo selling, whatever it might, watering cans. What we're talking about here is creating long form written content. And really, whatever medium you do this on, there is a big benefit. But I do think that maybe the key distinction between writing a newsletter and writing, say, a LinkedIn post is that when you're writing a newsletter, because the audience you're writing to has already opted in, that it is to borrow your term, Jamie, it's a safer space than perhaps anywhere else you can publish something, because I just speaking from my own anecdotal experience here, and Jamie, maybe you can relate. When you're writing a LinkedIn post, for example, your mind isn't purely on the subject matter that you're discussing. It's also on, will this hook entice people enough to expand the post? Can I say this in front of people that maybe I want to win as clients one day? Will the algorithm favor this particular piece of content, or should I phrase it in a way that is more algorithm friendly? So all of those other thoughts are going through your head. How will this be perceived by like the general public? Blah blah blah. What comments might I get? The newsletter is almost like the purest form of content posting, because you don't have to worry about the algorithm. You don't have to worry that this content is going to get into the wrong hands. Everyone who has subscribed wants to read what you've got to say, so it's a much nicer audience to be writing to, and I think that brings out the best in people.
Yeah, I really like that. I think if we go back to you being the content creator or the thought leader or whoever you are, and just stripping away all these expectations that are normally on you for writing marketing content. And that's algorithm and hooks and best practice and long tail keywords and, headers and, all of that stuff. Strip all of that expectation away when it comes to writing a newsletter, because what we are writing is essentially a letter to someone. And yes, there are still best practices and there are tweaks and ways you can optimize newsletter content to perform better, but nothing like we see on other channels. And so when I was talking about finding the joy in writing, again, we want to kind of find the joy in exploring topics and find the joy in and the excitement in talking to people about your area in a way that we can't do in other channels. And that's, if we go back to journaling, it might be that you write a version of a newsletter and it's never the one that you're going to send, but a version of it will be. And I think it's just having that freedom and that space to be able to write in a way that is where we strip away all those other expectations. And that was a thing that I spoke to a little while back. I spoke to a charity about their newsletter, and the newsletter, for like it had for so many people, had got to a place where it's like, oh my God, it's just like a thing that I have to get done. It's like on my checklist. I never want to do it, really. It feels like a pain in the ass to do. I don't enjoy doing it. I've asked different people to do it and they never like doing it either. And I know we should be doing it, but it never gets done. And the conversation that I had around with them was, okay, you're a charity that's doing excellent work and you've got these bunch of subscribers that have said they support your charity. They may or may not have donated, but they're at least interested in what you do. How about we find the joy in spreading that good news again? How about we find the joy in writing and speaking about the work that we do in a passionate way that is stripped of all of these other marketing expectations? And that's what we can do in the newsletter. And that was one of the key takeaways and one of the pieces of feedback that I had from having that conversation with that charity. And so I think that is a benefit that we should have from writing the newsletter. But also sometimes it is just a pain in the ass. And sometimes is the last thing you want to do, on any given week. But I would just say, I think this is one of the benefits we have of newsletters over any other piece of content marketing.
Yeah, agreed. I really like that. And that is often the thing that gets you through the doldrums of starting a newsletter, because every newsletter that's ever existed, from the huge like Morning Brew, for example, which has now over 4 million subscribers. Well, there was once upon a time where that was being sent to probably 4 or 5 subscribers, right? And there is that and that's a newsletter business, so obviously it's very growth orientated. A lot of B2B lists that we see kind of stagnate at a certain number, whatever that is. Maybe it's 100 subscribers, maybe it's 1,000, but it can be hard for some businesses to grow as rapidly as something like Morning Brew, of course. But there is this sense of like, okay, there's probably going to be a point where you're writing newsletters, maybe for weeks, maybe for months, to a crowd, to an audience size that you're not happy with, that is on the route to being at a place where you are happy with it. And for those, for that time, however long it might be, it can be really hard to find a motivation. It can be really hard to sit down and think, I'm only writing this to 11 people. I'm only writing this to 37 people. I'm only writing this to 100 people, whatever your expectation might be. And it's in those moments that we have to find the joy in the process itself. And we have to find the thing that it's giving us that isn't the dopamine hit of having thousands of people reading our content, that isn't the dopamine hit of replies flooding into your inbox the moment you hit send, that isn't huge poll responses or massive sales or selling the course or filling the event that you've got or any of those things. That stuff will come. But in the meantime, there needs to be something else, because not everyone's going to have that immediately. There are very few newsletters that start and immediately have an audience. So in the interim, you need to find something else. And I would guarantee that if you're able to find that, and if that's able to guide you through those initial those initial phases of starting your newsletter and getting it off the ground, it will stick with you even when you do get the more conventional rewards that a newsletter brings. You'll still enjoy it and you'll still do it because of the fact that you have framed it in your mind as something that is good for you first and good for your audience second. And I think that's a really healthy spot to be in.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Okay. I don't know if I have much more to say on this subject. I think it's just something worth saying, and something that's never really talked about. And I think, we writing an email, or writing a newsletter, or a letter, as we like sometimes call it, it doesn't have to be grammatically correct. It doesn't have to fit a certain form. It's just talking to people. It's just writing to people in a way that just oozes personality and brand. And so that's something that we need to always remember, but particularly in those early days, and the benefit of that. And, sometimes this is one thing that we actually use the podcast for as well, right? It's a ring-fenced, dedicated time that James and I get to talk about email marketing and generate more new opinions about it and explore new areas. And, this is a version of that for us, and our own newsletter is a version of that for us as well. So, yeah, I don't know if I've got anything else to say on the subject. Is there anything for you that you want to bring out?
No, I'm happy. Let's wrap it up.
Nice. Cool. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this little mini episode. It's a little bit of a departure from the normal stuff, but yeah, let us know your feedback. It's nice to get the feedback if you want to send us a message, but otherwise, thanks for listening.
Nobody's made it this far. We can say anything. We can say anything we want now.
Yeah, that's it. Well, okay, well, bye. Well, if you are still listening, see you later.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.